Hello students, welcome to the class. So in the previous video, we have discussed about the synopsis on alcohols, phenols and ethers. So here we are going to discuss some of the multiple choice questions on the same topic. Okay. So starting with the first question, wood spirit is commonly known as. So which compound is commonly known as wood spirit? See, so they have given the options methanol, ethanol, acetone and benzene. It is correct option is option A. Methanol is commonly known as wood spirit, or you can also call it as wood alcohol. You can also call it as wood alcohol. Yes, methanol is known as wood spirit or wood alcohol, or you can also call it as wood naphtha. So there are many names for it. It is also called as wood naphtha, as the earliest method for its preparation was by destructive distillation of wood. When the destructive distillation of wood was being done, destructive distillation of wood was being done, we got methanol. Therefore, methanol is commonly called as wood spirit. Moving to the second question, CH3OC2H5 is or are known as. So what is the correct option? It is an ether. So how do you name the ether? Alkoxyalkane. So this becomes a smaller alkyl group becomes alkoxy group. So it is methoxy ethane, correct? Methoxyethane. But here they have given this name, common name. So they have asked which is the correct name. This is methyl group and this is ethyl group. So alphabetically we write it, and the correct name is ethyl methyl ether. So students, you should be knowing all the common names as well as IUPAC names of the compounds, right? Okay. So it is known as ethyl methyl ether. What is the IUPAC name of M-cresol? See, we have already discussed what is M-cresol. It comes under phenols. We have discussed phenol is nothing but benzene ring, OH group attached to benzene ring. And so CH3 group, if it is attached, we call it as cresol. Now, depending upon the position of the CH3 group, we have orthocresol, we have metacresol, and we have paracresol. So, orthocresol is CH3 group at ortho position. Metacresol, if they have asking, so which one they have asked? They have asked us M-cresol. M-cresol means what? It is metacresol. That means the CH3 group is at para position. So if it is at para position, so how do you write the name for it? Look at the name. It is carbon atom 1 here. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So 3-methyl phenol. 3-methyl phenol is the correct option. So this is the correct option. Correct? So 3-methyl phenol. Moving to the next question, alcohols and phenols are classified as. So alcohols and phenols both can be classified as mono, di and tri, mono, di and tri, on the basis of depending upon whether they contain 1, 2, 3 or many. Poly also comes. So whether they contain 1, 2, 3 or many hydroxyl groups respectively. Yes. Therefore, you can classify them as monohydric, dihydric, trihydric as well as polyhydric alcohols. Yes. Or polyhydric phenols. Correct. So the correct option is option D. All of them are correct. Next question, IUPAC name of the compound is. So when you are doing the IUPAC nomenclature, we know what are the rules to be followed. So we will start numbering the carbon atom here 1. So chain becomes 2, 3, then 4 here, and then this is 5th. So this becomes the substituent. It is ethyl group. So how do you write the name? Ethyl group is on second carbon. So it is 2-ethyl, then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms, it is pent. On first position, there is pentane. On first position, there is OH group. So it is 2-ethyl pentane 1-all. Correct? So 2-ethyl pentane 1-all is the correct IUPAC name. Okay. Which is the primary alcohol? Primary alcohol means the OH group is attached to carbon, which in turn is not attached to any carbon, or the OH group is attached to carbon, which in turn is attached to only one carbon. So that becomes a primary alcohol. So they have said butane 2-all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butane 2-all. So here the carbon is attached to two carbons. Butane 1-all. 1, 2, 3, 4. and OH group. Here this carbon is attached to only one carbon. Of course, this is primary alcohol. Let us see other examples. Propane 2-ol, 1, 2, 3. So this is OH, secondary carbon. Isopropyl alcohol. So isopropyl alcohol. So here we have C, then OH. So isopropyl alcohol, no, this is also not the correct option. So which is the correct option? It is butane 1-ol is the correct option. Okay, so primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohols, we know them, how to do the nomenclature. Then which of the following alcohols contain sp3 carbon and OH group? So which alcohol contains sp3 carbon which is attached to OH group? Okay, now compounds containing sp3 carbon and then OH group is in the class of alcohols. They come in the class of alcohols. The carbon should be sp3 hybridized, means it should have a single bonded. Yes, so in this class of alcohols, the OH group is attached to sp3 hybridized carbon atom of an alkyl group. So these are further classified. So carbon, sp3 hybridized and OH group. These are further classified into primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols. Then you have allylic alcohols and then you have benzylic alcohols. Correct? Allylic and benzylic. So here you have primary, here you have secondary, and here you have tertiary, like this. Allylic, C double bond C and then COH. So this is sp3 which in turn is attached to sp2. Benzylic, here we have benzene ring which is attached to CH2 group which in turn is attached to benzene. So these are all the examples where OH is attached to sp3 carbon, correct? So it is attached to sp3 carbon. So allylic, vinylic alcohols are those wherein the OH is attached to sp2 carbon. Phenols are those in which the OH is attached to sp2 carbon directly to benzene ring, sp2 carbon of the benzene ring. So which one contains sp3 carbon? It is allylic alcohol. Yes, okay. The COC angle in ethers is how much? We have discussed this. In ethers, it is about 110 degrees. When discussing synopsis, I have made these points clear. So we have seen the bond angles also. Next, in alcohols, the oxygen of the OH group is attached to a carbon by a dash bond formed by overlap of a dash hybridized orbital of carbon with sp3 hybridized orbital of oxygen. Yes. So in alcohols, the oxygen of the OH group is attached to which carbon? It is attached to a carbon by a which bond? It is attached to a carbon by a sigma bond. Yes, so it is attached to a carbon by a sigma bond formed by, whenever you talk about sigma bond, it is formed by overlapping of sp3 hybridized orbital of carbon and sp3 hybridized orbital of oxygen. Yes, so bond formed is sigma bond, correct? So which is the correct option? It is option B. Okay, next question. In ethers, the two bond pairs and the two lone pairs of electrons on oxygens are arranged in. See, so in ethers, the two bond pairs and two lone pairs of electrons are arranged in which arrangement? They are arranged in tetrahedral arrangement. So we have seen these questions very clearly in our synopsis. So approximately they have the tetrahedral arrangement. Yes. Okay. Next question. Ethyl alcohol is industrially prepared from ethylene by. Ethyl alcohol is industrially prepared by ethylene from which of the reaction? Yes. So from ethylene is nothing but CH2 double bond CH2. From ethylene you want to prepare ethyl alcohol. It is through treating it with sulfuric acid. So what happens? It forms CH3, CH2, HSO4. Yes. And then this on further hydrolysis. It forms CH3, CH2OH plus H2SO4. This is the industrial method of preparation of ethyl alcohol, ethanol from ethene. So which is the correct option? Absorbing H2SO4 followed by hydrolysis. Action of nitrous acid on ethylamine. So ethylamine CH2H5, amine NH2, nitrous acid HNO2. So action of nitrous acid on ethylamine gives us what? When alkyl amines are treated with nitrous acid, we get alcohols. So what do we get? C2H5OH plus nitrogen gas plus there is formation of water. So what do we get? We get ethyl alcohol. This is one of the method of preparation of alcohols from amines. Next, in the commercial manufacture of ethyl alcohol from a starchy substance from by fermentation method, which enzymes stepwise complete the fermentation reaction? 10th standard question, you can say, by or science for first year biology topic, you can say this is the explanation. So from a starchy substance, C6H10O5N, this is a starchy substance when it is subjected for hydrolysis. Since here I am using N molecules, I will take N molecules. First, which enzyme is used? We use diastase enzyme. From germinated barley we use. What do we get? We get N molecules of C12H22O11. What is this? This is maltose. So we get maltose from starch. From starch, I'm going to take here 2. We get maltose. So this maltose C12H22O11, when it is further hydrolyzed using maltase enzyme, yes, from yeast what we get? We get 2 molecules of C6H12O6. This is nothing but glucose. This glucose C6H12O6, when it is treated with zymase enzyme, which is obtained from yeast again, we get C2H5OH plus liberation of carbon dioxide gas. So this is the mechanism, preparation of ethanol by fermentation of starch. Yes, first we use diastase, then we use maltase, and then we use zymase. So correct option is option A. Correct? So this is the reaction. From starch gets converted to maltose using diastase enzyme. Maltose gets converted to glucose using maltase enzyme. Glucose gets converted to fermented to ethyl alcohol, ethanol using zymase enzyme. So diastase we get from germinated barley. Maltase and zymase we get from yeast. Moving to the next question. Commercially, methanol is prepared by, commercially. So it is prepared by carbon monoxide subjected for reduction using cuprous oxide, zinc oxide, chromic oxide at 573 Kelvin and a high pressure of 200 atmosphere. What do we get? We get CH3OH. This is the commercial method of preparation of methanol. It is the commercial method of preparation of methanol. So what is the correct answer? It is a reduction of carbon monoxide in presence of zinc oxide and chromic oxide. Yes, so that is the commercial method of preparation of methanol. Next, tertiary butyl alcohol can be prepared by the action of. So you want tertiary butyl alcohol. So tertiary butyl alcohol is nothing but it is this OH. So this is tertiary butyl alcohol. So you want this. They have asked you what can we use to get tertiary butyl alcohol. See, tertiary butyl alcohol if you want. Yes. So if I want tertiary butyl alcohol, I should go for ketones. We know one of the reaction here. See, these are all Grignard's reagents. We know that formaldehyde gives primary alcohol, acetal, any aldehyde gives secondary alcohol, ketones give tertiary alcohols. So since they have shown here Grignard's reagent, I'll go for a ketone. So the ketone what I'll choose is 3. So here I'll take CH3, C double bond O, CH3, acetone. When ketone is treated with Grignard's reagent, so I need totally 4 carbon atoms. So here there are 3. I'll take one more. CH3MgI, Grignard's reagent. What do I get? I get CH3, C, CH3, and here let me say I have O, MgI attacks here, and to this carbon CH3 attacks. This on further hydrolysis, what do I get? CH3C, CH3, CH3, and then OH here plus M plus MgOH X. So did I get tertiary butyl alcohol? So this is tertiary butyl alcohol. So please do remember, if they have given us Grignard's reagent, formaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives me primary alcohol. Any aldehyde except formaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives me secondary alcohol, and any ketone if I take, any ketone plus Grignard's reagent gives me tertiary alcohol. Yes. Moving to the next question. So correct option is acetone and methyl magnesium iodide. Next question, which of the following compounds on reaction with CH3MgBr gives me tertiary alcohol? Again, so you have to select the compound. Here there is one carbon. So I should select a compound with two more carbon atoms. So, but here they have given all these examples. So you can see there, tertiary alcohols, which of these compounds gives me tertiary alcohol with Grignard's reagent. So if I want tertiary alcohol, they are formed by treating Grignard's reagent either with ketones, as we have seen in the previous question, or with excess of ester, other than formate, because formate will give you secondary alcohol. So other than formate is nothing but this acetate. So this is the correct option. This is the correct option. You can even write the reaction and see you are going to get the same answer. Yes. Moving to the next question. 1 mole of ethyl acetane, 1 mole of ethyl acetane on treated with excess of, it is not ethyl acetane, it is ethyl acetate, on treatment with excess of lithium aluminum hydride in dry ether, subsequent acidification gives us what? So ethyl acetate, CH3COO, COO, C2H5. This is ethyl acetate. So they have told us lithium aluminum hydride in dry ether. So even you can, and subsequent acidification. We are doing acidification, or sometimes they will give you H2 in presence of platinum also. Don't get confused. So what we are going to get? So here we are going to get CH3, CH2OH plus C2H5OH. So this is the reaction we have seen, method of preparation of alcohols from esters by reduction of esters, right? So we are going to get ethanol, one molecule, and ethanol, one more molecule. So what we are going to get? We are going to get 2 moles of ethyl alcohol. We are going to get 2 moles of ethyl alcohol. Next, which statement is not correct about alcohols? Yes. So alcohols is lighter than water. Yes, it is correct. Density of alcohols is less than water. Alcohols evaporate quickly. Yes, obviously, it evaporates very quickly. Alcohols of less number of carbon atoms is less soluble in water than alcohols of higher number of carbon. No, it is wrong. Alcohols of less number of carbon atoms are more soluble in water than alcohols with higher number of carbon atoms. And you know the reason also. What is the reason? It is due to a formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. Yes, so that is the wrong statement. Moving to the next question, 19th one. Dehydration of ethanol gives. So ethanol is what? Ethanol is ethyl alcohol. When you carry out dehydration of ethyl alcohol, CH3, CH2OH, dehydration is removal of water, and it happens in presence of concentrated H2SO4 at 170 degrees Celsius. There is elimination of OH group and hydrogen from beta elimination. So we call it as a beta elimination reaction, which leads into the formation of CH2 double bond CH2. So what does it give us? It gives us ethene and water. So ethylene is obtained and molecule of water. Alcohols of lower molecular weight are, alcohols of lower molecular weight are soluble in water, soluble in all solvents, insoluble in all solvents, soluble in water on heating. No, they are insoluble. What is the correct option? Alcohols of low molecular weight. So lower alcohols are soluble in all solvents. Lower alcohols are soluble in all solvents. If they would have mentioned higher, then the answer would be different. So lower molecules of alcohols, lower alcohols are soluble in all solvents. Next question. Ethyl alcohol on oxidation. Ethyl alcohol on oxidation with K2Cr2O7, CH3CH2OH on oxidation with K2Cr2O7 gives us what? Alcohol. This is a strong oxidizing agent, so it will give us carboxylic acid containing same number of carbon atoms. So what is obtained? It gives us acetic acid. So it gives us acetic acid. Next question. The reaction between alcohol and an acid with the elimination of water is called. So you are taking an alcohol and you are taking an acid. Yes, let me say this. With the intermolecular elimination of water, a hydrogen of alcohol and OH of acid goes out. It gives us CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. So it is giving me ester with the intermolecular elimination of water. So this reaction is called what? Esterification reaction. We have seen it in carboxylic acids also. So it is called esterification reaction. Maximum solubility of alcohols in water is due to, it is due to hydrogen bonding with water, intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. So option C is correct. Next question. Which primary alcohol is oxidized with chlorine? When primary alcohol is oxidized with chlorine, it produces what? So when primary alcohol, so CH3, CH2OH, this is primary alcohol. When it is oxidized with chlorine, it produces CCl3CHO. Yes, it will produce this compound, CCl3CHO. It is called chloral. What it is called? Chloral. So it produces this compound. Yes, you can write the IUPAC name also, and you can mention the common name also. It produces CCl3CHO, chloral. Next question. Which of the following reagents cannot be used to oxidize primary alcohols to aldehydes? See, if you oxidation, we have seen alcohols undergo oxidation to give aldehydes or ketones, which further undergo oxidation to give carboxylic acids. However, if you are using very strong oxidizing agent, but we have seen typical methods for oxidation of alcohols only to carbonyl compounds, that is aldehydes and ketones, and we call them as selective reagents. Yes, primary alcohols, when treated with certain selective reagent, it gives aldehyde, or secondary alcohols, when treated with selective reagent, it gives only ketones. So here they have asked which of the following reagent cannot be used to oxidize primary alcohol to aldehydes. So if I want to stop the reaction at aldehydes only, I shouldn't use a strong oxidizing agent. So which is that strong oxidizing agent which I cannot use? It is nothing but KMNO4 in acidic medium. Yes, CrO3 in anhydrous medium, it is for secondary alcohols to ketones. KMNO4 in acidic medium, it is for alcohols to carboxylic acids. So oxidation of primary alcohols to aldehydes, it is pyridinium chlorochromate. And heating in presence of copper, it is nothing but dehydrogenation reaction. Yes, so which is the correct option? It is KMNO4 in acidic medium. Okay. 26th question. The acidic character of alcohols is due to, what is the reason? The acidic character of alcohols is due to the polar nature of OH bond. Because of the polar nature, because hydrogen has to be removed to explain the acidic character. So depending upon the polarity of the OH bond, the acidic nature can be explained. So only we have seen reaction with metals and some of the bases. It gives us salt and it liberates hydrogen gas, correct? Next question. In the esterification reaction of alcohols, just now I have explained you what happens there. It OH minus C options. OH minus is replaced by C2H5OH. Is it right? OH minus is replaced by chlorine. H minus is replaced by sodium metal. and OH minus is replaced by CH3COO group. So what happens in esterification? CH3COOH plus C2H5OH give with the intermolecular elimination of water gives me CH3COO C2H5 plus H2O. This is esterification reaction. So what is getting replaced? In place of OH, CH3COO is coming. So OH minus is replaced by CH3COO group. It is replaced by CH3COO group. So this is the correct option. Next, order of esterification of alcohols. See, order of the reactivity of different alcohols on basis of esterification, it depends on primary alcohols to show a better reactivity because this group has to be replaced there. In place of OH, this group should come. So primary alcohols, less steric hindrance. Then comes secondary alcohols. Then comes tertiary alcohols. Tertiary alcohols. So due to, why? Due to increase in steric hindrance. Due to increase in steric hindrance in secondary and tertiary alcohols. There is more steric hindrance. So which is the correct order? The correct order is primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. You can see as the number of alkyl groups increase, the steric hindrance also increases. So in primary alcohols, the steric hindrance is absolutely less because there are hydrogens. Moving to the next question, which of the following alcohols will give most stable carbocation during dehydration? So if you want most stable carbocation, you know that tertiary carbocation is most stable, right? We have studied this. So where you get tertiary carbocation? Let me see. First example, propanol, 2-methyl propanol, 1, 2, 3. So here 1 propanol they have said, and this is 2-methyl. Second option, butanol 1, 4. Here there is OH. Third option, 2-methyl 2-propanol. So here 2-propanol and here 2-methyl. And this is butanol 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, OH. So here if you see, if this dehydration has to take place, hydrogen should get out. Yes. So where it gives most stable carbocation, it is in case of C option, 2-methyl 2-propanol. Because when hydrogen comes out, I'll show you the reaction also. CH3C, CH3, CH3, CHOH. Yes. So protonation OH, what it gives me? CH3C, CH3, CH3, OH plus. Correct. Then removal of OH2 plus. So removal of water, H2O. When this H2O comes out, here carbocation formed. Correct. So see, look at here. So here carbocation, here carbocation, here carbocation, and here carbocation is formed. This is tertiary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. Tertiary carbocation. Correct. So here, which becomes more stable? So it is this carbocation. Correct. Therefore, 2-methyl 2-propanol gives us correct answer. Most stable carbocation. Next question. Identify the appropriate reagent for conversion of alcohol to carboxylic acid. Alcohol to carboxylic acid. So you want to convert alcohol to carboxylic. Can I take PCC? If I take PCC, it will convert alcohol to aldehyde. Correct? If I take copper, it will convert alcohol to aldehyde or to ketone. If I take anhydrous, it will convert secondary alcohol to ketone. And if I take KMnO4, acidified KMnO4, it will convert alcohol to carboxylic. It will convert alcohol to carboxylic acid. So which is the correct option? It is KMnO4. So only PCC and anhydrous chromic oxide, they are known as selective reagents for converting primary alcohol to aldehyde and secondary alcohol to ketone respectively. Yes. 31st question. The process of converting alkyl halides into alcohols involves. So you are converting alkyl halide into alcohol. So RCH2X into RCH2OH. So this involves what type of reaction? So X has to be substituted with OH. So it involves what type of reaction? It involves nucleophilic substitution reaction. So what type of reaction? Nucleophilic substitution. Yes, addition is for converting alkene to alcohol. You can remember these things also. Dehydrohalogenation is for converting alkyl halide to alkene. Yes, rearrangement is for ketoenol. So it is not the reaction. So it is what? Nucleophilic substitution you can say, or you can say nucleophilic substitution reaction. Yes. What is Lucas reagent? What is Lucas reagent? So alcohols are soluble in Lucas reagent. What is Lucas reagent? Concentrated HCl plus zinc chloride. Concentrated HCl plus zinc chloride, while their halides are immiscible and they produce turbidity. So in case, so you can explain, this is a distinguishing test. In case of tertiary alcohols, the turbidity appears immediately, correct? Turbidity appears immediately. In case of secondary alcohols, if you treat it with Lucas reagent, here also Lucas reagent, turbidity appears after 5 minutes, correct? In case of primary alcohols, when you treat it with Lucas reagent, turbidity doesn't appear at all. Turbidity doesn't appear at all. So Lucas reagent is the test for determination of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. So turbidity doesn't appear for primary alcohols at room temperature, whereas for secondary alcohols, turbidity appears after 5 minutes, whereas for tertiary alcohols, turbidity appears immediately. So what is Lucas reagent? It is concentrated HCl plus zinc chloride. Next, methyl alcohol can be distinguished from ethyl alcohol using. So from methyl alcohol, CH3OH, can be distinguished from ethyl alcohol using. So to distinguish this, we need to go for sodium hydroxide and iodine test, which is called iodoform test. Because Fehling solution, Schiff's reagent, Thallium fusion test, they're all for aldehydes, so it's not required. So ethyl alcohol, if you take ethyl alcohol, treat it with sodium hydroxide and iodine, it is iodoform test, you will get CHI3. Only this will give us yellow PPT, whereas methyl alcohol doesn't give us. Methyl alcohol, if you treat it with NaOH plus iodine, here no PPT. I do not get any PPT. So this iodoform test can be used to distinguish methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol. Next question. Methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol and acetone were treated with iodine and sodium. So methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol and acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, were treated with, all of them were treated with NaOH and iodine. So all the three are treated with NaOH and iodine. NaOH and iodine. Which substance will give iodoform test? Which substance will give iodoform test? Only ethyl alcohol will give iodoform test, CHI3. This will also give CHI3. So these two, ethyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol and methyl ketones only show this test. Yes, which contain methyl and carbonyl group attached. So they give iodoform test. That means they will show yellow PPT. So they exhibit which test? They show iodoform test. Whereas here, since there is no PPT form, because it does not contain methyl ketone, so it does not show. It doesn't show iodoform test. It doesn't show iodoform test. So which is the correct option? Only methyl alcohol and acetone. Only ethyl alcohol and acetone. Option C is the correct option. Okay. 35 question. Which of the following compounds will give yellow precipitate with I2? And same question. So which will give? Option A, yes, it will give. Option B, will it give? Only ethyl alcohol will give positive iodoform test, that is, it will give yellow PPT. What about second option? Propane 1-ol, it will not give. Third option, that also will not give because there are ethyl groups. And fourth, methanol will not give. So which is the correct option? It is option A. Next question. An unknown alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent to determine whether the alcohol is primary, secondary, or tertiary. Which alcohol reacts faster and by what mechanism? So 36th question. So they have asked just Lucas test. So Lucas test is for determination of primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Just now we have discussed. If you treat primary alcohol with Lucas reagent, that is concentrated HCl and zinc chloride, it will not give turbidity at room temperature. No cloudiness is obtained. If you take secondary alcohol and treat it with Lucas reagent, it will give turbidity after 5 minutes. Tertiary alcohol will give turbidity immediately with Lucas reagent. Now the reason is the reaction of alcohol with Lucas reagent is mostly SN1 reaction. And the rate of reaction, you know, is directly proportional to the carbocation formed. Which carbocation is more stable? We know that tertiary carbocation is more stable. So therefore, since tertiary alcohols form tertiary carbocations, it will react fastest. Yes or no? So by tertiary alcohols will form turbidity fast. That too by which mechanism? By SN1 mechanism, because this reaction involves formation of more stable carbocation, that is tertiary carbocation. Next, what is methylated spirit? What is methylated spirit? So methylated spirit is nothing but methylated spirit. These common names should be known to us. So what is methylated spirit? So 5 to 10% methanol, CH3OH, and remaining ethanol, remaining everything, that is 90 to 95% of ethanol, C2H5OH. This is called methylated spirit. This is called methylated spirit. It is also known as denatured alcohol. What it is also known as? Denatured alcohol, because it is unfit for drinking. Yes, 5 to 10% methyl alcohol and 90 to 95% of ethanol is called methylated spirit. Its also name is denatured alcohol, and it is unfit for drinking because it is unfit for drinking. This cannot be used for drinking. Okay. Par alcohol. What is par alcohol? Par alcohol is nothing but it is 80% petrol plus 20% ethanol. 20% ethanol. This is called as par alcohol. 80% petrol and 20% ethanol. So what is par alcohol? It is a mixture of petrol, hydrocarbon, and ethanol. These common names you should be knowing, students. These all are required. Wood spirit, methylated spirit, denatured alcohol, par alcohol. Next, in order to make alcohol undrinkable, pyridine and methanol are added to it. The resulting alcohol is, in order to make alcohol undrinkable. Yes, undrinkable means it is denaturing. Yes. So for denatured alcohol, we have seen just now what is denatured alcohol. It is methylated spirit. But there are other terms also. If you want to do denaturing can also be done by adding some amount of pyridine and petroleum and CuSO4. So how much amount of pyridine? It is around 0 to 0.5% of pyridine, petroleum naphtha, and copper sulfate. When you add these, it becomes undrinkable. Yes. So correct option, and that is called denatured spirit. What it is called? Denatured spirit. It is said to be denatured spirit, not denatured alcohol. Here, methanol is called denatured alcohol, and this is called denatured spirit. So you are taking methanol, you are adding 0.5% pyridine, petroleum naphtha, and copper sulfate, etc. Or any of these can be added. Here they have said pyridine. In some questions, they may ask you petroleum naphtha. In some questions, they may ask you copper sulfate also. Any of these you add to a methanol, it becomes denatured spirit. It becomes denatured spirit. Yes. So the correct option is option C. Next question. In the following sequence of reactions, what is the product? So they have taken benzene and it is treated with oleum, fuming sulfuric acid. So what do you get? Benzene sulfonic acid. So we get here oleum is nothing but fuming sulfuric acid, electrophilic substitution. I get HSO3H, benzene sulfonic acid, which is my option P. Then it is treated with NaOH first and subjected for hydrolysis. When you treat it with NaOH, we have seen this reaction. Benzene sulfonic acid on treating with a base, it will form ONA, O minus Na plus, sodium phenoxide. This on further, they have said hydrolysis, correct? They have said hydrolysis. When you carry out hydrolysis, what do you get? You get phenol. Preparation of phenol from benzene sulfonic acid. So one step extra they have asked. So here totally I have to answer. So what do I get? I get this compound Q, which is nothing but phenol. Yes, phenol. So that first part what we have seen, that is the explanation of a previous year. Next part is we have seen preparation of phenol from benzene sulfonic acid. Next question. Cumene on reaction with oxygen followed by hydrolysis. This is also a very well-known process which is called cumene process. And we have seen how cumene is prepared. So first we take benzene, treat it with propene. Yes, what do we get? We get a cumene, that is isopropyl benzene. So this is called cumene, CH double bond, CH2, and here we have CH3. This is treated with oxygen where we get cumene hydroperoxide. We get cumene hydroperoxide, CH3, COOH, correct? This is what we get. Then this, and here there is CH3 group, okay? This on further hydrolysis, H3O plus, what do I get? I get two important compounds. One compound is our phenol and another compound is CH3, C double bond O, CH3. This is nothing but acetone. So I get phenol and acetone. So correct option is option D. Phenol and acetone. This is called cumene process. It is called cumene process. Next question. For phenols, which of the following statement is correct? Which of the following statements is correct? It is insoluble in water. No, it is soluble in water. Next, it has lower melting point compared to aromatic hydrocarbons of comparable molecular weight. No, it has higher melting point. It has higher boiling point than toluene. Yes, because in toluene, if you see, yes, there is hydrogen bonding. Phenol has higher boiling point than toluene because toluene is a methyl benzene, CH3 attached to benzene, but phenol is OH attached to benzene. Because of formation of hydrogen bonding, phenols have higher boiling point than toluene. It does not show acidic property. That is wrong. It shows acidic property. So which is the correct option? The correct option is it has higher boiling point than toluene. Next, in phenols, the OH group is attached to side chain. Then the OH is directly attached to benzene nucleus. Both A and B, none of these. If it is option C, both A and B, is it correct? No, it is wrong. Because if it is option A is what? Phenol, OH is attached to side chain of benzene ring, CH2OH. This is side chain. If this is the case, this is not called phenol, it is called benzylic alcohol. It is alcohol. It is not a phenol, it is benzylic alcohol, which comes under OH attached to sp3 carbon only. Correct? So there are three types we have seen: alcohols, which you call them as alkanols. Primary, secondary, and tertiary come under this. We have allylic alcohols wherein double bonded carbon is attached to sp3 carbon, which in turn is attached to benzene. Then we have benzylic alcohols. I've shown you the example here itself. These all come under OH group attached to sp3 carbon. But in phenols, what is the case? In phenols, the OH is directly attached to sp2 carbon of benzene ring. All the carbon atoms of benzene are sp2 hybridized. Therefore, we say OH is directly attached to benzene nucleus. To benzene nucleus, right? Then action of diazomethane on phenol liberates diazomethane. So phenol is taken. Yes. So they have said diazomethane. It is nothing but CH2N2 in presence of a hydroborofluoric acid. Yes, fluoroboric acid. What we get? We get benzene ring, acidic nature, O, methylation occurs, CH3 plus N2 gas is liberated. So what do I get? I get methoxybenzene, anisole, and there is liberation of nitrogen gas. So which gas is liberated? Nitrogen gas is liberated when it is treated with diazomethane. Next question. Which of the following compounds will react with sodium hydroxide solution in water? Which of the following compounds will react with sodium hydroxide solution in water? Yes. So first option is a phenol. First option is phenol, OH. Second option is benzyl alcohol, CH2OH. Third option is thrice CCOH, tertiary alcohol. Fourth option is secondary alcohol. So which will react with sodium hydroxide? Phenols are more acidic than alcohols. We have seen phenols are more acidic than alcohols, but they are less acidic than carboxylic acids. So carboxylic acids being more acidic, carboxylic acids, correct? So phenols react with sodium hydroxide in water to form. So what do they form? They form, so phenol reacts with sodium hydroxide and forms sodium phenate, correct? ONA plus, sodium phenate. So they will react with what? Because phenols are more acidic than alcohols. Correct option is option A. Rest all are alcohols. So phenols are more acidic, therefore they will react faster. Next question. Benzoquinone is prepared by action of phenol with. So when phenol, I've told you, phenol is not exposed to air, because when you expose phenol to air or treat it with any of the oxidizing agent. So here, which oxidizing agent? Acidified sodium chromate I can take, Na2Cr2O7, acidified H2SO4. It forms benzoquinone. Conjugated diketone is called benzoquinone. This is the structure of benzoquinone. If you want to see it properly, I can write once again. The conjugated double bonds are at conjugated positions and there are two ketonic groups. This compound is called benzoquinone. Benzoquinone, which is nothing but conjugated diketones. So when you oxidize, oxidation of phenols gives benzoquinone, and that is caused by highly oxidizing agent, that is an acidified sodium chromate. So these are few of the questions what we have discussed. In the next slide, we'll be discussing about next questions, next set of questions. Thank you.